We'll guide you through what to do when your PS4 controller is not charging. If you find this useful, then please consider subscribing, and once you've done that, then please consider leaving a like, and let's get into this.
We'll be covering a few fixes that might work for you. The first one being we will be talking about inspecting of your charging port. What I mean by that, so the USB part of your charging cable is plugged into a certain USB port on your PlayStation 4. That port might have dust or other particles inside of it that have stacked up over time, and you want to clear them up because they might be impeding your charging process towards your PS4 controller. To do that, I recommend you take a air spray can and clear it up that way, and then use a microfiber cloth that can clean it up perfectly, or maybe you can use a some long brush that you have laying around, or a toothbrush, and you can clear it up that way. Now, for the next method, I recommend you reset the controller. How to reset your controller? So you take your controller, then you flip it over until you get to this part right here where you see this little hole, and you will need a thin object. You take that thin sharp object, it can be a toothpick, a seam ejector tool, a bobby pin or anything, and you shove it inside of that little hole and just press for around 5 to 10 seconds until you see a pop-up on your screen. And as you can see, DualShock 4 disconnected. That means that we have hard resetted our controller. Now let's turn it back on. Now for the next method, I recommend you switch your charging port. So what I mean by that, as I said previously, maybe your charging port is damaged and you have plenty of other USB ports on your PS4, so just take your USB cable and plug it in some of the other slots. Now for the next method, being swapping out your charging cable. So here is my charging cable, and I have gotten this charging cable alongside the console when I bought it. After a couple of months of use, it has gotten worn out and it doesn't charge my controller properly. If this is the case for you, I would recommend you take this cable and switch it out for another one. You will need to buy or find one in your house. It will need to be USB to micro USB. And after you have found it, you just plug it back into your console and controller, and you should be set back again to start working with your controller.